morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all dear teachers here. I'm glad to be here to take part in a teaching contest of Tucson City. First of all, I would like the judges have good health, happiness, and success. I would like our contest being successful. My name is Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân. I'm from Phuket Primary School. Come to the contest, I will report about the research, some effective methods of teaching listening for students in grade 4 and grade 5. My research has two main parts. Part 1 is the statement of the problem, and part 2 is the problem solution. Now, let me go into the details. As you know, the new general education of 2018 is proposing that one of the objectives to teach learning and learning English in primary school is developing 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, focusing on speaking and listening. However, it is complicated for students to practice listening every often because of some difficulties as lacking of English community or language knowledge. So, to do this research, I would like the students have improved their listening skill and speaking skill. After some years teaching at Phuket Primary School, I found that the percentage of students have the good result in teaching in listening tests were low. Yes, it's only about 9%. And after the listening test, after I play the recording task in listen and complete, many students look at me with the nervous eyes and shocked eyes and so with me, they say, "Oh, teacher, it's so quick, it's so fast. Please turn it out. Please slow it down." So I wonder why listening test is so difficult for students. In my opinion, there are 3 causes. The first cause is that I think there are many students do not pronounce correctly. They do not have stressful. They do not have intonation in their speech, and they do not have a linking sounds in their speech. So it's difficult for them to listen to the real dialogues. And the second one is that there are many students who do not have a chance to practice listening at home or listening at the economic community. Yes, and the last one, I think listening task is quite boring, and many students do not like the listening task. So they do not confused, they do not excited about the listening task. So how to deal the problems with the student? In my experiences, I've done 3 solutions. The first solution is guiding pronouns correctly, teaching in 3 main steps for students to understand the task, and I have the time for students to practice more in the class. And solution 3, applying IT to excite students to make the listening time more better. For the first solution, guiding students to pronounce correctly, I ask students to pronounce or teach students some basic phonetics, just basic phonetics about some sounds. Like I think they need to know the vowel sounds, consonant sound, and semi-vowels. They need to know the sounds and the vowels, and then I ask them to speak clearly, stress, and words in the sentence. With this step, I ask them to say over the top. Yes, make it over. Not say naturally first. Say make it over the top. And I ask them about the linking sounds. I think the linking sound makes students to hard when they listen. Not only the students in the primary school, but also the learners. They need to know the linking sounds, because in this sentence. You can say the native speaker will say, the car is here, not the car is here. Yes. I ask them to say the sentences or say the words over the top. Here, you can say.
Always, always.
And say naturally after that. And they will do it again and again. Yes, and the second solution, when teaching in 3 main steps, I always teach the listening task with 3 steps, pre, while, and post-listening. Yes, in the first pre-listening, I always do all the list, make some list for students as vocabulary or sentence. I ask them to answer my questions, to make the topic, the content, and the context clearly. I ask students by question why, where, who, what, or when. Yes, by asking this, I usually do some quiz or some games, mini games, just only 2 or I think 1 or 2 minutes for students to practice. Again, about the vocabulary and about the sentences. And while listening, as you know, while listening, students will listen in twice. Listen in twice. In the first listening, I ask them to listen and do the task uninterruptedly. They will listen uninterruptedly. Listen for the whole task. And in the second listening time, children will listen and do the task again and check. Maybe they have the correct answer and they can check the answers. And next one, I ask them to share the answers with their partners. And then I ask them to listen and check the correct answers with the whole class. Yes? And in post-listening, only post-listening, I will check the comprehension by playing roles for students, and I also make some videos for students to play roles or maybe say in karaoke, like sing in karaoke in the classroom. And maybe in the post-listening, I will upgrade the task for practice more. Yes, I also make some listening tasks. It's upgrade the level. I will make it harder, like listen and complete. I usually read the text in the previous lesson to make the upgrade task for students. Yes. And here, this is the classroom. I will use some IT to make the listening task for students. And I think it's not quite long. It's not long for you to do this. Here, just only 1 or 2 more sentences or tasks for students to practice. Here you can see. Class, are you ready? Listen and speak.
Why do you like art? Because I want to be a painter.
1, 2, 3. Only answers. Okay. Yes. With using some mini questions or mini quiz for students in the post-listening, students can upgrade their levels. I can use many other tasks for students to practice, like listen and complete or listen and write. Listen and write, yes. And because the listening lesson is boring and so stressful for students, so I usually use IT to make it better, to make it alive and intriguing. Yes, I usually use học liệu.vn and its system like Lingo Duo or Lingo Beat for students to practice at classroom. And after at home, I will give for students some educational channels on YouTube as Marble Leaf Learnings or Novel Adventures for students to practice at home. They can listen and practice the conversation. Yes, and thanks for the development of IT. I can make my own tasks for students by using some websites like naturalreader.com or ttmp3.com. I usually use that to make the text to be the audios. Yes, with the natural reader, you can use the audio with any speed, maybe multi-1 point, maybe 1.25, maybe even one. Anyone you think, anyone you want. Yes. But naturalreader.com, you cannot download the MP3. But the ttmp3.com, you can download the audio. Yes, you can download the audio to your laptop, to your phone to use when you want to do it. Yeah. And as a result, the students have many changes in the classroom, and the result is that very good, quite very good, and students can listen and speaking, only listen and speaking at home, only listen and speaking in the classroom and with the teachers. They can practice at home, they can practice in the Vietnamese community with their friends. You can see the total score for score 8 to 10 is raised, and I'm cloud 9 because of the motivation of the teacher and of the student in the listening time. When I use the other methods in my classroom, students are more active and alive, and their listening time is not boring, it's not stressful. They will feel more confident, they will feel more active when they listen to the real dialogues and make the real conversation with their teachers and with the native speaker. And the good result, moreover, they can practice listening skills, other listening skills like skimming or guessing information when they're listening. Not only read, but also listen and skim, listen and guess the information. Yes, that brings to my presentation. Thank you for listening. Now I ask you to answer any questions from you and any comments to make my research more complete and finished. Thank you.